Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom, live from our studios at number 5 Oula Hansen Lane at Tesano. I am Inusafo. Coming up. Supreme Court adjourns ruling on Pandai parliamentary election rerun to January 28. Health facilities in La Teshi and Nungwa struggling to provide quality health care in the midst of water crisis.
Buy from the tankers. I think initially used to be about 900, now it's shot up to 1,000 Ghana, which is not easy financially.
Opposition New Patriotic Party defends decision to expel former Environment Minister Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng from the party.
Patriotic Party is governed by rules. It's a party governed by laws. And therefore, when a person makes a statement which constitutes a misconduct, the party has to follow due process. And that is what we have done.
City FM and Channel 1 TV roundtable discussion on President Mahama's first year in office comes up with a positive verdict.
Last year, 2025, have been good in terms of macro stability. There's no question about that. But we shouldn't jubilate. We shouldn't jubilate because managing an economy is like managing the health of individual.
In Channel 1 Business. Ghana's ports recorded strong surge in trade activities in the year 2025, according to the Bank of Ghana. In Channel 1 Sports. Ghana's Daniel Ni Ayilayi appointed to officiate AFCON semi-final clash between host Morocco and Nigeria. Many thanks for choosing us this hour. Let's settle for the details of our stories. The Supreme Court will, on January 28, 2026, decide whether to quash a High Court judgment that annulled the parliamentary election results for Pandai in the northern region. Meanwhile, the Bisi District Court has fixed February 7 for ruling in extradition proceedings involving social media personality Frederick Kumi, popularly known as Abu Trika, who is wanted by the United States over alleged fraud-related offenses.
The Supreme Court's pending ruling follows an application filed by Martin Yindam, who is asking the Apex Court to set aside a judgment of the High Court in Tamale that nullified his election victory. The High Court had earlier upheld a petition filed by the National Democratic Congress candidate Daniel Nsala Wakpao, challenging the conduct of the parliamentary election. The court subsequently annulled the results and ordered a rerun. Acting on that decision, the Electoral Commission announced December 30, 2025 as a date for the rerun. However, the process was suspended after Yindam invoked the Supreme Court's supervisory jurisdiction, arguing that the High Court lacked the legal authority to entertain their petition in the first place. According to Yindam and his lawyers, the parliamentary election results were gazetted on December 24, 2024. Under the law, an election petition must be filed within 21 days of gazetting. On that basis, they contend that the petition filed by Wakpao on January 25, 2025 was outside the statutory time limit. They argue that once the High Court acted without jurisdiction, all subsequent proceedings, including the judgment annulling the election and ordering a rerun, were a nullity and should be quashed by the Supreme Court. But lawyers for the NDC candidate have strongly disagreed. They insist that the results were re-gazetted on January 6, 2025 as part of a comprehensive publication covering several constituencies, including Pandai. On that basis, they argue the petition was filed well within time and that the High Court properly exercised its constitutional mandate under Article 99 of the 1992 Constitution. The Supreme Court has adjourned the matter to January 28, 2026 for ruling, with the suspension of the rerun remaining in force until then. In a separate legal development, the Gbese District Court has fixed February 7, 2026 to rule on whether Frederick Kumi, popularly known as Abu Treka, and two others should be discharged from ongoing extradition proceedings initiated at the request of the United States government. Abu Treka, a social media personality known for flaunting an extravagant lifestyle online, is wanted by U.S. authorities over alleged fraud-related offenses. The Supreme Court on January 28, 2026 will deliver its ruling as to whether it will quash the High Court judgment that annulled the Kwandai election results. Again, on February 7, 2026, the Gbese Court would also deliver a ruling as to whether to discharge Abu Treka and two others from indictment proceedings for extradition to be tried in the United States of America for alleged crimes of defrauding by false pretense. Reporting for Channel 1 News, Hansen Ajiman.
The General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Justin Frimpong Kodia, has defended the party's decision to trigger removal proceedings against former Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, following comments he made describing the NPP as fake. There's more in the following report.
The justification comes in the wake of remarks by Professor Frimpong Boateng during an interview on Channel 1 TV's Point of View, where he distanced himself from the current NPP. According to the former minister, the NPP, as it stands today, no longer reflects the ideals and principles of the party he once served, insisting it has strayed from its founding values.
The present NPP is not NPP, it's fake.
What?
Yeah. What I see now, it is not the NPP I used to know.
These comments, however, have drawn a strong response from the party's leadership. Speaking on an interview with City News, NPP General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia said the party's decision to initiate removal proceedings is neither personal nor arbitrary, but firmly grounded in the party's constitution.
Well, the New Patriotic Party is governed by rules. It's a party governed by laws. And therefore, when a person makes a statement which constitutes a misconduct, the party has to follow due process. And that is what we have done as a party.
When you say due process, can you help us?
Well, it was on your station where Professor Frimpong Boateng made a careless statement, which we were not expecting from a man of his stature to have made. To make that statement that the New Patriotic Party is a fake party, and therefore he's not a member of that fake party. Ideally, I should have written a letter to expel him from the party based on what he has said.
Let's get more on this. And the national organizer of the NPP, Henry Nanabuashe, joins us on the line for more. Nanabi, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Good evening. Happy New Year. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Nana. Nana, great. Is the NPP now gagging its members from speaking their minds?
Oh, no, I don't think this is a matter of the New Patriotic Party gagging its members from speaking their minds. No, I mean, this is a serious comment, very offensive to the dignity and integrity of the party. Professor Frimpong Boateng is a senior political party member that's in the NPP. So for him to have made such disparaging remarks, such unfortunate remarks, this is very serious. And you see, anybody at all can have his or her personal views about me, his or her personal views about the General Secretary. But then if you speak against the party is supreme in terms of its membership. I mean, nobody is above the party. So if a senior party person who is benefited from the party, he's been a minister of state under the New Patriotic Party, MPP government before, right? So if you've benefited from the party and today you turn around to make such disparaging and such unfortunate remarks about the new patriotic party, for me, if I had the powers, possibly I would have expelled him from the party long ago. But then we have processes. So that is why there is a recommendation before NEC. When NEC meets, NEC will consider the expulsion of Professor Frimpong from the new patriotic party.
How would you react to those who say that the NPP is punishing dissenting views?
No, that is what I'm saying. I've just explained that this is not. This is you dragging the party's image into dispute. This is you muddying the image of the new patriotic party, and that is why I explained that you can have your own views about me. You can insult me, you can attack me, you can have your own personal views about me, but then when you attack the image of the new patriotic party and you describe it in such words as he did, then clearly you don't have to. And it is in our rules, in our regulations. You must defend the image of the party at all times. So if you have such a senior party member who is not defending the image of the party, but rather dragging the image of the party into dispute, then clearly that senior party person ought not to be part of the group New Patriotic Party. So that is why we have put before NEC this recommendation. When NEC meets, NEC is going to consider the expulsion of Professor Frimpong from the New Patriotic Party.
Nanabi, Professor Frimpong is heard saying that nobody can sack him from the NPP and that he will continue to speak his mind on matters concerning the party. What do you have to say about this?
Oh, I think that let's wait for NEC to meet. I mean, if we write to him, because as the General Secretary mentioned, we have a constitution, we have structures in the party. The NEC is the third highest decision-making body of the party. If NEC should make a decision that you are no longer part of that, you cannot still hold yourself as part of the New Patriotic Party. So as for that one, I think that that statement is misguided. He doesn't understand what he's saying. If NEC should pass a resolution that he is no longer a member of the New Patriotic Party, there's nothing he can do about it.
Looking at the stature of Professor, couldn't the party have called him privately, then issue a statement?
That is what we were expecting to do. You recall that before this unfortunate statement, he had already written, and I particularly responded to that. I took my time I took him through all because he had earlier mentioned that, look, we did not go into the reasons why we lost the elections, but I pointed it clearly to him that, look, we formed a committee. It was headed by Professor Michael Kwe. They did their work for almost about 2 months. They presented their report before National Council. National Council, based on that report, set up another committee, that is Lawyer Van Dijk's committee, to also look into the report and also make recommendations for constitutional amendment. Because some of the recommendations they were talking about clearly would require a constitutional amendment. So that is why we again went for national conference in July to initiate all of these amendments. So it looks like he's not paying attention to what is really going on in the party. He again makes this unfortunate statement that we rigged the elections without any shred of evidence. He said that we rigged this election for one person, and it looks like the entire national executives, we are planning to rig the elections for one person. This is such misguided, and I'm surprised how a man of his stature, a man of his pedigree, would utter such words without even shred of evidence, nothing. It's so amazing. And I wonder, because he is a respected surgeon, yes, but I think that if we are pointing fingers at people who caused the defeat of the New Patriotic Party, he is one of them. Don't forget that he was a minister who was in charge of the interministerial committee to fight Galamsey. And under his watch, he failed woefully. And he made so many unfortunate statements, so many, disparaging statements. So for me, this is the right call. As I said, if I had the power, I would have saw him from the party long ago. But then we need to follow due process. We are put before the National Executive Committee for National Executive Committee to consider his expulsion from the party. So,
Nanabi, are there any timelines for the NEC?
Oh, I'm very, very sure you hear from us soon. I mean, because I'm sure NEC will meet before we go for our 31st January presidential primaries. So I'm sure we'll consider all of that.
Talking about the 31st primaries, how are preparations so far?
Oh, from the indication we have received from the Presidential Elections Committee, so far they've done a good work. As I said, nobody can rig this election. This is going to be free, fair, credible, transparent elections. We are going to elect our flag bearer, and we are going to unite. So, and we are expecting close to about 220,000 people nationwide to be part of this exercise. So far, so good, and we have engaged all important stakeholders, and I'm happy that even the presidential aspirants themselves, as we speak, they are happy with the processes, and we are expecting that it will end very, very well.
Henry Nanabuachi, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's move on to some other stories now. Traders operating along the Asokwa interchange, Ahojo runabout stretch in Kumasi, are gradually vacating the area following a directive by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to pave way for the construction of a dual carriageway. The Kumasi mayor had earlier set January 4, 2026 as the deadline for all roadside users, including traders and temporary structure owners, to remove their installations from the project corridor to facilitate the commencement of construction works.
A visit to the stretch shows that some structures have been dismantled, with traders relocating their wares to safer locations in compliance with the directive. Earth-moving equipment have been deployed to the grounds as preparatory works have begun. According to city authorities, the road expansion forms part of broader efforts to ease traffic congestion and improve road safety within the metropolis, particularly along the busy Asokwa-Ahojo corridor. Frank Amwatin, a washing day operator along the stretch, expressed support for the project, noting its potential to ease traffic congestion and boost economic activity, but warned against delays, referencing past projects that displaced occupants and left many without jobs.
Some time ago, 3 years ago, say, those who become the motor yards and to bridge and say, yeah, at the way about or kind of or yam or mining, say, yet, your go search your grammar, your doing it is a first and your pensa. Oh, you're free, and your quanta, was the road, and your quanta, dump, quite dumb, I say, or be a quantum coffee job 24 hours, and a pen you blame flame amount for dying lie. Amount to be uncle grow from a beer from we. Oh, man, your quine get you to 4 years over Jaito. Now, more quite dear my Sakabigu, and move through on almost free. I dominance quantower, as at the bar, Petit, number 1 and 2. Or would you crown out as I say, can for the corner for Swaba?
For motorists who use the stretch regularly, the project is expected to bring significant relief, as it will help ease traffic congestion and improve the smooth flow of vehicles once completed.
If they are able to do it, it will help us a lot, but I don't trust the Ghana government. I don't trust them. They cannot be. I'm from Jachi here. They started double road from here to Jachi. When they reach Abidjan Quanta, they stopped. And now, if there is anything in my hometown, I cannot go there because of the road. So if they can finish this way, they probably help us.
When they do the dual road, it will help us because there is more traffic here. So when they do it, it will help us a lot. So we'll be okay with it.
With work progressing on this very stretch, motorists are hopeful that this project will bring an end to the traffic congestion. For Channel 1 News, I am Bright Yeboah.
Stakeholders have commended government's achievements across various sectors 1 year into office, particularly in the economy, but have struck a cautionary note warning against premature celebration. They explained that Ghana's core economic challenges remain deeply interconnected and will require sustained policy discipline to address effectively. Speaking at a high-level roundtable dubbed John Mahama 2.0, a thematic assessment of Year 1, organized by Channel 1 TV and City FM, the stakeholders emphasized the need for consistency and long-term reforms. There's more in this report.
An esteemed panel comprising experts and key stakeholders was convened to critically assess government performance 1 year into President John Dramani Mahama's administration. Across major sectors including the economy, education, agriculture, energy, and the environment, the general assessment from stakeholders pointed to an impressive performance on several fronts. On the economy, experts note that while Ghana is currently experiencing a degree of macroeconomic stability under the Mahama administration, the country remains exposed to underlying risks that require careful management.
Last year, 2025, have been good in terms of macro stability. There's no question about that. But we shouldn't jubilate. We shouldn't jubilate because managing an economy is like managing the health of individual. And the medication must be consistent. So macro stability is not an end in itself.
Beyond the economy, the energy sector also emerged as a critical area of discussion. Some stakeholders believe that with properly coordinated efforts, the sector could become a major game changer for infrastructure development and industrial growth.
I think it's important that we push the price to industry down. I think I've said that already, and I don't want to. But there's a third point in the energy sector which is quite important and it tends to be overlooked. Look, with the advent of AI, which everybody is talking about, energy is actually the game changer, not AI. Just look around. Countries which attract databases, crypto, everything are those who have got excess energy. And in Africa, the only country I can talk about now is Ethiopia. Just because of the Renaissance Dam and the 6,000 megawatts of power that they release into the system. Quite a lot of data centers are being attracted there, which is beginning to now create a lot of special economic zones, industrial parks, etc. That's the way you industrialize and create jobs.
Players within the agriculture sector have also welcomed the relative stability of the city but raised concerns about food prices, which they say continue to affect farmers' livelihoods.
A bag of maize, 100 kilograms, is selling at a paltry, in fact, started 220 Ghana cedis. What is 220 Ghana cedis in dollar terms? It drifted up to around 250. As I talk today, you will be lucky to have maize to go for 280 Ghana cedis. It's still dangling between 240, 250 in Tumu, the Sala area, which is so bad. But then, in contrast, fertilizer, the best brand, a brand, that's Yara, was going for 550 to 590. So it tells you that you may need to sell 3 bags of maize
to get one bag of fertilizer,
which doesn't make sense.
Africa Education Watch revealed that Ghana is grappling with a severe teacher deficit, with about 30,000 classrooms currently operating without teachers following the government's failure to recruit new teachers in 2025. Despite this challenge, the organization commended government for continued financing of the school feeding program, free senior high school and basic education.
Budgeting, yes. For basic education, we saw 22% of that allocation going to basic. That was the highest for basic in 4 years. And then we saw some significant allocations in the budget to inclusive education. We saw some good moves in financing. We saw the government put to rest the issue about sustainable financing for free senior high school.
On environment issues, particularly the fight against illegal mining, stakeholders commended government for establishing the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. However, they called for intensified efforts to clamp down on illegal mining activities.
So in terms of the political will and consistency, clearly we've seen that there's been some efforts, through the various initiatives that I mentioned. However, I think there's room for improvement because, especially with the establishment of the NIMOS, the catch and release is not enough. We need prosecution of these perpetrators, right? And for me, I think it's more important that we shift from more like the initiative-driven approach and try and then give these institutions the autonomy. We need to institutionalize the fights.
About corruption and governance featured prominently in the discussions, with accountability advocates urging government to fully implement the National Ethics and Anti-Corruption Action Plan, which they believe would significantly strengthen the fight against corruption.
That sought to
give us a framework within which we all fight corruption in country, from the presidency to the least of us in the community like myself. If we all put our energies to implementing, because it goes from the legal and where all the things I've spoken to are embedded, and it brought on board experts to ensure that we are putting in place what constitutes good practice from across the globe.
Members of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament have expressed concern over the breakdown of a ferry operating on the Volta Lake at Agodeke in the Front Plains North District, which has been out of service for the past 9 weeks. Farmers, traders and residents in the area have been severely affected by the breakdown of the ferry. When management of the Volta Lake Transport Company Limited appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, some members of the committee assured the public of their commitment to ensuring that the broken down ferry is repaired as a matter of urgency. Channel 1 News' Ni Ayikwe Okan reports.
At the Public Accounts Committee sitting on Tuesday, members of Parliament raised concerns about a ferry that has broken down on the Volta Lake at Agodeke in the Front Plains North District of the Eastern Region. This has created inconvenience for farmers, traders and residents who have had to rely on wooden boats on the Volta Lake without life jackets. Appearing before the committee, the Minister for Transport assured of efforts by the government to fix the broken down ferry.
I want to say that there's a crisis there. Many of my constituents are in those areas. They are farmers. For 9 weeks, many of them have harvested their products, even transportation, bringing them out to the markets and all of that. It's a crisis. It is akin to, let's say, the road between Accra and Kumasi getting blocked, having a huge crack, and trucks are unable to access it. So it's a national security issue. It's an issue that I want to respectfully plead with the minister that let's get something done about this as soon as possible, because the people are crying.
In fact, about 10 other MPs in the Volta region and OT are going to join the CEO in coming to knock at your doors, because operations of these ferries or vessels, it's so critical to the economies of our constituencies, and we will not relent until we find some workable solutions to this.
I want to take this opportunity to empathize with the people of Agodeke who are Front Plains, where they rely only on us, and for almost 9 weeks now, all the 2 engines on the vessel are down. The 2 engines are down. We can't get the parts. We need generators. We need 2 generators. We have only 1 on. Everything is just not working. But I want to say that there is hope. We will do everything within our means. The minister is working hard with us to make sure that in the next 1 month or 1.5 months, we will be able to resolve some of these issues.
We regret it and we are working hard. It's just that the vessels are very old and how to get their parts is very difficult for us. However, we have intensified search and we have even engaged people who can do some kind of local parts for us to see whether it will fit in.
But the government says it is seeking private partnership to improve on inland and coastal transportation across the country. Reporting for Channel 1 News from Parliament, Ni Ayikwe Okan.
The Judicial Service Association of Ghana has declared an indefinite strike beginning Monday, January 19, demanding the payment of arrears owed to its members. The decision, according to the association, follows repeated engagements with the Ministry of Finance and the government over the delayed implementation of a 10% base pay increase approved for judicial service employees in 2025. In a statement issued on Tuesday, January 13, JUSAG recalled that despite repeated letters and assurances from management, including a letter dated December 16, 2025, the 8 months arrears remain unpaid. The association described the situation as unbearable and said members had been left disappointed, especially during the festive season of December. The National Executive Council of JUSAG affirmed that the strike will continue until the full payment of arrears from January to August 2025 is made. You're still watching the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Still to come. Ghana's ports recorded strong surge in trade activities in the year 2025, according to the Bank of Ghana. We have the details shortly. Do stay.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
The Sweetroot Secondary School's Wesco Alumni Association invites all alumni to its annual all-year groups Thanksgiving and Remembrance service. There will be remembrance of the departed PACAs and also the launch of the 67th Speech and Prize Giving Day. The date, Sunday the 18th of January 2026. Time, it's 2 p.m. Venue, Cedar Mountain Assemblies of God Church, East Legon. Contact your year group president and register your attendance now. Semper Cum Optimus, always with the best.
You're welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Business with Na Shikasiza. Hi Na, how are you doing?
Hello, no, I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
You
What's
look
happening in
nice.
business? I like what you're wearing as well. You look
Thank
nice
you.
as well. What's happening in business?
Well, I'll be telling you what's happening about the ports. I have a bit of good news from there.
Give us the details.
Now, Ghana's seaports are recording a strong surge in trade activity, offering a bright spot for the economy, even as passenger arrivals through airports and land borders soften slightly. According to the Bank of Ghana's November 2025 Monetary Policy Report, container traffic at the Tema and Takoradi ports rose sharply in September 2025, highlighting improved international trade flows.
Total laden container traffic, covering both import and export, jumped by 20.6% year-on-year to a little over 73,000 containers, up from the 61,000 recorded the same period last year. The momentum was sustained over the year, with cumulative container traffic for the first 3 quarters of 2025 increasing by 23.2%. to reach 647,536 compared to the 525,623 in the corresponding period of 2024. In contrast, passenger movements showed a mild slowdown. Passenger arrivals declined marginally by 1.3% year-on-year to 102,078 in September 2025, down from the 103,387 a year earlier. On a month-on-month basis, arrivals fell by 10.5%.
Now, agricultural research scientist Professor Roger Canton has urged government to fast-track plans to rehabilitate the Tumo and Wa cotton granary in northern Ghana. Speaking at a roundtable discussion organized by City FM and Channel 1 Television to assess President John Mahama's first year in office, he observed that although the facilities were established several years ago, they remain largely underutilized. Here's more.
Professor Canton also noted that revitalizing the Ginneries could create significant opportunities for farmers and local businesses.
And the last is the Tumu Cotton Ginnery.
Tumu Cotton Ginnery?
Yes, it's number. In fact, it's if they don't, I won't come here for your discussion. Oh yes, because we have been following. I'm serious, Bernard. If not, I'll bring cotton farmers from Sosala area. We will come and pick it at City here.
The government says Ghana is ready for concrete investment, stressing that the focus has shifted from discussions to action-driven partnerships. Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Minister Elizabeth Owusu-Ejari says Ghana offers strong opportunities in trade, agribusiness and manufacturing with a development strategy centered on value addition, industrial growth and job creation. She made these remarks during a visit by a delegation of Chinese investors, noting that the engagement follows recent high-level bilateral talks, including the China-Africa Summit and the President's official visit to China aimed at converting diplomatic engagement into real investment commitments.
Let's start concrete things. You have been to Ghana before, and I think that this is the opportunity for this group to, have some concrete meetings. So if you identify the area of interest, we will show you exactly what to do, and you can have meetings before you leave. So that even as you leave, you know exactly when to come back and what to do. GIPC will tell you the opportunities they have. Free zones will tell you what you can do if you want to be in the free zones area and all of that. After all these, start your meetings so that you know exactly what to do. We want the next steps because you see, Ghana has moved beyond talk. We are into action. And I'm excited that we have finished our talks in China and you are here for the action. And so I'm expecting you to be able to start something concrete. Again, I am looking forward to investment that will be a win-win for Ghana and China.
We now bring you an update on how the currency is performing on the interbank markets. And that's it for Channel 1 Business. I am Nashika Caesar. Eno, back to you.
Thank you very much, Na. Let's do some more stories now. Access to basic health care remains a major challenge for residents of Ntebudo community in the Zabzugu district of the northern region. Community members, including expectant mothers, say they endure severe difficulties in accessing health facilities, with some women going through their entire pregnancy without antenatal care due to the long motorable distances they must travel. Others recount losing family members as a result of delays in accessing medical attention. Channel 1 News' Northern Regional Correspondent Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira visited the deprived community and filed the following report.
Residents, including expectant mothers of Mbebudo community in the Zabzugo district, say they continue to endure severe difficulties in accessing basic healthcare services. The community, located in the western part of Korle Nakwale, remains largely deprived of essential social amenities, including motorable access routes, educational infrastructure, healthcare facilities, and reliable mobile network coverage. Expectant mothers told Channel 1 News that they are often forced to walk long distances, over 20 kilometers to Nakwale, or travel all the way to Zabzugu town to access maternity care.
uni moto back, uni moto back,
Some residents also recounted painful experiences of losing family members because of delays and challenges in accessing health care facilities.
See, the time we was not having anything, even hospital. If a pregnant woman come like this, they will walk to the hospital. Then immediately you go to the hospital, the doctor will say the child is not feeling well because of the working or everything.
The Member of Parliament for the Zabzugu constituency, Honorable Alasan Umar Abako, has responded to the community's appeal by awarding a contract for the construction of a chief's compound for Mbebudo.
Contractor has promised to be on site and has even supported them with the assembly with fuel to use the drip machine to open up the road to the community. And so we want engineer to get the contractor to site within the short possible time so that the people of Mbebudo also deserve a health facility.
Beyond healthcare, education in the community is also affected. Teachers posted to Mbebudo often refuse to stay to the harsh living conditions. In an effort to encourage them, community members undertook communal labor to construct a mud accommodation for teachers, though the structure is yet to be completed. A teacher in the community shared the challenges faced whilst working in Mbebudo.
We the teachers were meaning when they brought us here, and because of the road, a lot of us ran away. It's like only 2 of us who agreed to stay because of the nature of the road. And we don't have a help. If you are sick, where to go, we don't have it. So because of that, some of our colleagues said they can't stay here and they left.
Health facilities in La Teshi, Nungwa, and surrounding communities are grappling with an ongoing water crisis that is severely disrupting healthcare delivery. The facilities say the situation is placing a heavy financial burden on already overstretched facilities. There's more in the following report by Channel 1 News' Rachel Engman.
A visit to the La Polyclinic reveals a dire situation where water for operational activities have become a daily struggle. Management explains that the cost of tanker-supplied water has risen from 900 to 1,000 Ghana cedis per delivery, an expense described as unsustainable.
We buy from the tankers. You know, I think initially used to be about 900, now it's shot up to 1,000 Ghana, which is not easy financially. Weekly, it depends on the attendance, you know, the washroom patronage, yeah. So weekly, sometimes maybe we buy once, twice. It depends. It depends on the people that come around.
At the Lekma Hospital, the situation is even more dire. Despite having 2 boreholes, hospital staff who pleaded anonymity indicated that they have remained unused for over a decade due to high salt content, leaving the facility largely dependent on external water supply.
Even though we have 2 existing boreholes which have not been used for like over 10 years because of the salt content. So currently, we depend on buying water from outside because Teshi supply us just once a week. And looking at our catchment area and the number of patients that we attend to every day, once a week is not really enough to help us.
The municipal chief executives for Ladade Kotopong and Lejokuku confirmed that the assemblies have been supplying free water services using tankers, though the intervention is placing significant strain on assembly finances.
Recently, I got to know that our health facilities also had similar challenges. Fortunately, we were able to get tankers to supply them water as well. We are hoping that it will still get better. We'll get direct flow of water through our taps so that to ease the burden on households and then the health facilities as well.
Just last week, my MP drilled some 3 boreholes. The assembly is about drilling more boreholes in addition.
National security too is here. Yesterday, I went for a meeting with Ghana Water Wakilu, and the National Security Coordinator. Everything is on course.
Meanwhile, the managing director of the Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilu, has assured residents of La, Teshin and Nungwa of measures to address the situation.
Nationally, we are the demand is 350 million gallons a day. That means all of that is being equal. We have to produce it every day.
Okay.
But currently, we produce 240 million gallons.
Health facilities in La Teshin and Nungwa say the ongoing water crisis is crippling them and are calling for urgent intervention from the authorities. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Rachel Engman.
With barely 5 years to the 2030 deadline for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, several targets, particularly Goal 6, which focuses on access to sanitation and safe drinking water, are increasingly unlikely to be met. In the northern regional capital, Tamale waste management remains a major challenge, with heaps of refuse left in the open, posing serious health risks to residents. At the Balahi landfill site, years of accumulated solid waste remain unattended. Our Northern Bureau Chief, Shawana Yusuf, has more in this report.
Unmindful of the health risk involved, women and children who frequent the Balahi landfill site have reportedly abandoned farming and schooling respectively in their search for scraps to sell. The assembly member for Burma Wovogu electoral area, Hudu Yapdo, described the situation as deeply worrying.
Instead of going to school, rather prefer to come to the landfill to search for plastics and metals, subsequently sell to make money. Our women and children contract diseases from the landfill, and the children end up not being useful to society, which is a very big concern to people and opinion leaders in the communities around.
Many of the women working at the landfill site do so without any protective gear. They say the lack of alternative sources of livelihood compels them to collect and sell scraps. Another scrap picker, Madame Memunatu, says the market for plastic has declined sharply, with no sales recorded over the past 6 months. According to her, their major buyer shut down following a devastating fire that destroyed his factory.
So machine mate tabum. There's no chira chanma. Tabla nyare nindaro bakana. Kat the gande song that put the Mariaya. The young one dara. Ah, a camera I'm a mela, so men took dark, the mammy mela and I carbon to current. Kala is and gampule. Nothing matter want to put a one that's it. No will
Meanwhile, the assembly member for the Burma Wovogu electoral area, one of the communities affected by the landfill, says the site, which is not fully fenced, has led to pollution of nearby farmlands, significantly reducing crop yields during harvest seasons.
This place is surrounded by farmlands. During dry season like this, the wind, when there are heavy winds, it blows the rubbers into farmlands. So farm yields nowadays is very low.
He further disclosed that some scrap pickers have contracted serious diseases from prolonged exposure to the waste.
There are infections here. The women especially have contracted infections here. And subsequently, some have been cured or some have been treated, but others pass through as a result of these infections.
For Channel 1 News, I am Shawana Yusuf reporting from the landfill site here in Balahi.
in the northern region.
This is still the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One TV. Still to come. Ghana's Daniel Ni Ayi appointed to officiate African semi-final clash between host Morocco and Nigeria. We have the details shortly. Do stay.
Are you planning to relocate from your company office or house, whether across cities to another town or halfway around the country? You want a moving company you can depend on to get you there? Let me introduce you to Logistics Movers. We are here to help you every step of the way, from planning the move to unpacking the last box and settling into your office or home. We have the expertise, experience, and market understanding and offer fast, reliable, and professional transportation services in Ghana. Our main thrust is to successfully move your business, household items safely, on time, and hassle-free. You can call us on 0246 833 539 or 0244 342 465. You can also send us an email to info@logisticsmovers.com or check our website www.logisticsmovers.com. Why expose your company or household items to theft or damages when you are relocating if it's avoidable? Logistics Movers, we help you relocate.
The Sweetroot Secondary School's Wesco Alumni Association invites all alumni to its annual all-year groups Thanksgiving and Remembrance service. There will be remembrance of the departed PACAs and also the launch of the 67th Speech and Prize Giving Day. The date, Sunday the 18th of January 2026. Time, it's 2 p.m. Venue, Cedar Mountain Assemblies of God Church, East Legon. Contact your year group president and register your attendance now. Semper Cum Optimus, always with the best.
You're welcome back. Up next is Channel One Sports with Gabby Affair. Hi, Gabby. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Why are both teams raising concerns with the appointment of Daniel Ayi?
First off, I think he's a top referee. He's coached in the CAF Interclub assignments, but with the AFCON, this would be his second proper test because he did so against Algeria and Burkina. You can understand why the two countries are raising concerns. One, he's West African. The Nigerians will say, okay, because Ghana didn't qualify, you probably might take some decisions that are funny. The North Africans in Morocco, who are the host nation, are also looking at him from West Africa and say that maybe he will take some decisions that will go against the North Africans. That's why probably they can.
Give us the details.
All right. Now, Ghana's Daniel Ni Ayi has been appointed to take charge of the highly anticipated encounter between Nigeria and the host nation, Morocco, in the second semi-finals of the ongoing AFCON. Now, the match is scheduled for Wednesday, January 14, 2026, at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium, where kickoff at 8 p.m. Now, according to the Confederation of African Football, they took this decision with regards to Daniel Ayi's profile. There's more in this report.
Ghana's Daniel Ayi, one of Africa's most respected match officials, has been selected to lead a multinational officiating team for the crucial African Cup of Nations fixture involving host nation Morocco and Nigeria, underlining the Confederation of African Football's confidence in his experience at the highest level of continental football. The appointment will mark Ayi's second match as a center referee at the tournament, having previously officiated a Group E encounter between Algeria and Burkina Faso on December 28, a game that ended 1-0 in favor of the 2019 champions. He was later assigned another key role on January 9, 2026, serving as the lead video assistant referee for the clash between Morocco and Cameroon. 4 days later, CAF confirmed the Ghanaian referee will take charge of the highly anticipated showdown between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Lai will be assisted by Zakele Thusi Granville Siwele of South Africa and Saru Fatoni of Lesotho. The Nigeria-Morocco encounter is widely regarded as one of the standout fixtures of the tournament, with both sides considered strong contenders for the AFCON title. Now let's talk about the games proper. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria will host the host nation Morocco in the second semi-final of the 2025 AFCON after Nigeria defeated 2019 champions Algeria in a hard-fought quarter-final encounter. However, head coach Eric Shell will be without captain Wilfred Ndidi. Let's get the thoughts of the head coach and forward Alex Iwobi.
I'm disappointed for him because he brings so much for the team, but we are a group. There is some player, some very good player who are in the pitch, and we wait a chance to show something that they can bring us. So I'm very confident about that. So just I have to do a choice between some player and everything. Semi-final. We played our last game against Algeria. It was a good game for us. Now a big game against a big team. So we will enter slowly in this game because we have a last training session today, and we will be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, the coach has said we did well against Algeria. We respect every opponent. Algeria was very good, but now we're excited with the challenge we have tomorrow. But we'll prepare and hopefully we'll be ready for the game.
That will be the very latest in the world of sports. I am Gabby Ofer. Back to you now.
Thank you very much, Gabby. And that's how we end today's bulletin. Do visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel 1 TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel 1 TV. Download the Channel 1 TV app on Google Play Store. I am Ines Afo. Many thanks for watching.